Hi, my name is Dave Brauer-Rieke, and I serve as Bishop of the Oregon Synod of the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America. I've noticed as I talk with congregations about sanctuary, but also other issues, is a certain stuckness or confusion around the question, should the church be political, or what does it mean to be political, or does it make people mad when you get political? And as I've thought about that with people, I realized that I grew up in an environment with academic parents, and words meant something for me growing up, and I was taught that words mean something. So what does the word political mean? And we know, those of us who study Greek, that political comes from the Greek word polis, which simply means city, and it's a New Testament era word for the Greek world, where cities were in Asia Minor. Often they were on trade routes or on harbors. They had a religious core for the cult of Athena or whomever, but all sorts of interesting and wonderful people and products ran through. So politics, which was just the conversation of the city or the conversation of the people, the public conversation, had to do with commerce and religion and new things and old things and patterns and stuff like that. So in our world today, politics is simply the public conversation of the people around us about things that matter. And it's a good thing. And I try to reclaim the word politics as something that we want to be engaged in a world where I know politics has often framed as slimy and power-mongering and those sorts of things. But for me, politics is just simply the conversation of the people that leads to decisions and actions. That's much different in my mind than the word partisan, which is a French word from some other period of time, right? I mean, partisan means a weapon or a fringe group or an advocacy group. So partisan politics is a public conversation that comes from a point of view or with an agenda or with something you want to get done, which is okay. We're Republicans and Democrats, we come from partisan politic places. But when we do partisan politics, we have a prejudged notion of what we're trying to achieve, as opposed to public conversation about listening and respecting and honoring. So when I talk about churches being political, I simply mean public. When I talk about church being political, I mean engage with things that make difference, with peoples on all aspects of life, on the fringes, in the center. When I talk about being political as a church, I mean bringing the best we have to the table, which is Jesus, or our ethical framing, or our moral stances, and being clear and honest about who we are and why we are. The church, however, chooses not to be partisan. At least the Lutheran Church chooses not to be partisan. We don't advocate for ourselves, we don't advocate for a political party, and we don't advocate for necessarily a perspective on an issue unless it comes from our ethics and our practice and the gospel itself. So, I hope this is helpful, but as you think about what it means to be political, or if you're studying sanctuary, what do we need to be talking about? What do we as a church have to bring to the public arena? Can we be clear, and can we be open and respectful when we do so? That's politics at its best.